Hey, what's up? It's DJ. Today we're taking our first look at the John Deere 3400 pack from Black Sheep Modding. This mod comes with tons of customization options to make each model unique to you. There's also quite a few different attachments. You can pretty much do anything with this pack. My favorite's the 3-point adapter, but we'll talk about that. It can also lift the HD50F, and we'll show you that too, and pretty much everything in between. I do want to thank Black Sheep Modding for sending this over to show you guys ahead of its release. Big shout out to them. If you want to check out Black Sheep Modding and anything else they've been up to, check the links down below. So here it is, the John Deere 3400 pack. Included we have the Tellehandler itself, pallet forks, we have the V15 3400, which is a sweeper. We also have the 3-point hitch. We've got cutter support, which will pick up different cutters, and the universal bucket, which has plenty of customization options. As for the machine itself, some baseline specs: 145 horsepower, cannot be changed. Variable transmission, 148 liters of fuel, 24 mile per hour max speed, and it weighs 7.7 tons. It's got a lifting capacity of 3 tons and a max lifting height of 7 meters. Wheel brands include Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Midas, BKT, Vredestein, and Nokian tires. Trelleborg has a standard and wide setup. We'll move that around so you can see how wide those are. Michelin is just a wide, as well as Continental, which is only standard. Midas gives us a standard and wide tires, which I think those Midas wides may be the biggest ones. We also have BKT standards, Vredestein wides, and then a Nokian communal tire as well. Just for today, we're going to stick with the Trelleborg standards. As for some customization options, we do have a protective grid that we can add to the front. We also have different windows. We have tinted and clear. Those are the only two options. Beacons on the back, we have 8 different kinds of them, so you could go through and find the style of beacon that you like best. I prefer the number 6, so we'll go with that. Warning triangle around towards the very back. We have a yes or no setup. Attachments, this is really cool. So we start with standard, which gives us all of our hydraulics as well as a regular trailer hitch. Then we can go with the trailer support, which moves our hydraulics up, and then we also have pretty much every hitch that's in the game, which is great. We also have a PTO in there. Then we have a 3-point hitch. We still have a trailer hitch on there, so you don't have to worry about that. We got our hydraulics, but we also have that 3-point hitch on there, and PTO, by the way. So yes, you can run this like a tractor. And that is it for customization options. We do have different colors. So on the main color, we have the John Deere green. We have a nice communal yellow. We have forest green and black. And then rim colors, we have 2 of them. We have the John Deere yellow, and then we have just black colors. Now, the black works really well with all of them. However, especially with the yellow, forest green, and the black, I would definitely go with black wheels, and then yellow if you're going with the John Deere. We also have license plates, so I've gone for DjGoHam, and we have front and rear license plates if you want to put them on here. Actually, I don't know where the one on the rear went. Oh, it's on the cabin. I'm just blind. Now, heading out from there, let's take a look at the pallet fork. So we have different colors for these. However, that's about it. Also, yellow number 2 is that bright John Deere yellow. If you want just the one that matches that communal yellow of the machine, you want to go with the regular yellow. These weigh 250 kg each, if you're curious about that. Moving over to the sweeper. Now, you can see we've got these openings on here, so yes, you will need the pallet forks in order to use the sweeper, but no worries there. That's very easy to do. It has a 2.7 meter working width at 6 miles per hour, and that is a true 6 miles per hour. When you put this thing down and start sweeping, it slows you down. Guidelines, we do have those in case you're running in first person or doing snow and then design color. Well, we can change that up as well. However, the bottom always stays red. Next is my favorite. This is the 3-point attachment. It's also got a regular hitch on there as well, and I love the name of it, the INTXX3PTS. Oh, yeah. Now, we also have all of these options for it, so you can change those up if you want to. And as mentioned, it also has that trailer hitch under there. Now, this is kind of interesting because it allows whatever 3-point attachment's being hooked up to it to actually work. I don't know if they did that on purpose or if it was an accident or if it's just a thing that Farming Simulator happens, but I love it, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit later on. This is another one that's kind of neat. So let's start with color options here because this just changes the back. What I would do is change it to black because the rest of it's going to change on its own. you may see some of the things here that you recognize, like, well, the T560i or the 1100X9. These are hookups. Now, you probably notice other mods that say, oh, this is the combine harvester for it. Well, it's because each one of these, though all headers work on all pieces of equipment for combines, no matter which combine it is, you can see they're all very different shapes. And so what you could do is hook up and then lift. Oh yes, lift the headers. I showed that off in the intro. This is very cool, and I love this. Lastly is the bucket. Now, I had mentioned in a news video that I thought this was two different pieces of equipment. It's not, and I like the way they've done it. 2,500 liters. It is bulk material, so anything that you could pick up, you could put in here. We could do with or without the grapple. The grapple looks epic. And then we have design colors that match up everything else. And that brings us here to show you all of the pieces of equipment in the game. We have both of those buckets set up. So we've gone for a John Deere T560i here just to showcase, but other things work. And then that 3-point hitch and then everything else. So let's kind of go through and show you how these work. There is one thing to note here. If you are wanting to use other telehandlers with this equipment, it does not work. However, if you want to use other telehandler tools with this, they will work. As you can see, a little bar pops up right on there on the front, which is automatic, so it'll run all of the base game telehandler tools as well as those John Deere tools. I also want to show you some of the things you could do with this before we get out and look at some of the tools. Obviously, it's a telehandler, so we've got raise and lower, and then we've got an extendable boom. We have all of that, yes, and then you can see how high that goes up. It's actually a very impressive telehandler. Now, it's not the only thing we have, because we also have a window that opens. We saw this at first person in the video that they posted. Yeet! Looks very good. Everything works in here the way you would expect. The joystick there actually works well. And then we also have a load thing right up there at the front. It kind of tells you what your load is, which is really, really cool. We'll be pushing that to its limits later, don't you worry. We also have animation changes. So we've got animation of the window and animation of the door. So when we change that, now the whole door opens, not just the window. Change it back to the window, and now only the window opens. Now what happens if we change it and it's in the middle? You can't. They've thought of that. They were like, let's make this DJ proof so we can't mess it up. And then that's exactly what they did. They did a very good job. A very, very, very good job. Of course, we've got our beacon, so we can see that. Although, I'm pretty sure we maxed out how many things we could do here, because the beacon's actually not showing, but it works. Don't you worry. And then, I think maybe that's about it. We do have working mode, so we have all-wheel steering on there, of course. Then we have front-wheel steering. Then we can do crab left, crab right, and back to all-wheel again. So that kind of takes us to the end of our, hey, here's the machine. So let's go have fun with it. First off, the pallet forks and the V15 3400, the street sweeper. So I've got this one kind of set up as a communal style set. So that's what it would look like out there. And we've got these, but we can also do this, bring them in and out. How cool is that? Now, this is not new. Most of the forks that we have base game, things like that, we could do that with. So very cool there. Now let's come up to here, and one of the nice things is you don't have to line this up perfectly. As a matter of fact, this is anything but perfect. Just pull over it, and then it will just pick them up, which is great. At least from what I found, it kind of lines them up how it wants to, so you can change it up and then move it side to side however you like. I think that's really neat. So it's like two different functions. The forks are like two different functions when they're used with this. I think that's super cool. Now, one thing we could do is turn them on, but as far as I could tell, turn them on does nothing. So maybe you can or don't have to. We've got some pig food here. We're just gonna go across it. No big deal, sweeping this up. Works kind of like a flattening tool would if you want to get rid of some stuff, or maybe if you wanted to, I don't know, make it go away. Works the same way with snow, by the way, too. You can see here it's actually leveling it out to a specific level, but it's not completely getting rid of it. So if you want it to drop down, let's go down. Let's get the sweeper rocking. Yeah, but like I said, you don't have to turn it on. If we do turn it on, it still works just fine. Yay! And again, it locks you down at that 6 miles per hour. So you will be locked to 6 miles per hour unless you lift it up. Now I wonder what happens if we don't have it activated and drop down. Still 6 miles an hour. Okay, so turning it on and off again, really not seeing much difference here. This is manure. There are some maps that drop manure into the pile of, into one pile. There's some that drop it in, like Black Sheep Bonding's Old Stream Farm map. Hey, so you can get rid of it that way, nice and easy. Next, we're gonna do some heavy lifting. I have the the dark green version. I actually went with yellow wheels. It matches the decals, but I'm not quite sure I'm all digging in with it this way. Regardless, I've also gone for a matching front unit here, and we have this big old setup. Now, we're gonna hook it up here, and I just want to show you this. I've got a weight back there, but you can see if you hook up and start to move it, the combine actually moves itself. So you need to go in and physically select this. But you can see right here, it's doing it. It's moving it. Oh, it's a little bit tipsy, but it's doing it. Hey, yeah, man. You could probably do some fun stuff with this, but it works. That's what I'm getting at. It works. It's fairly stable. It's forgiving, if anything. And we'll bring it back down now. Taking a look on the inside, you can see how it gets the weight. It actually shows you the weight on there. That's kind of cool. I mean, I think we've got a couple things kind of similar to this. Yeet. We've got a couple things kind of similar, but hey, it works, man. Also, you can lower this down and just like roll on the wheels like that. Now you got rear wheel steering with a combine header. Also, there is one thing I want to test. It's really dumb, but I kind of want to test it because there's a hire worker button and it makes like a header noise. So I'm going to hook up to this weight back here just to make things a little bit easier for me. If you're curious which weight it is the base game 2500 10-wheel weight. It helps out a little bit with this. Give it or take it. Alley-oop. Yay! So when a hire worker, it says work stopped unexpected, no field found. Well, let's give it a field. There we go, that's better. Let's bring it over here. Well, that's dropping down the weight. I want to select the combine header, which is really not doing much, to be fair. Bring it down to here and just see what happens. Hire worker. So, I got a worker, and it's running the combine, but it's not doing anything. This is not a... This is literally just a DJ trying to break stuff. And I love it so much. And look, we're going 15, 16 miles an hour. We're not doing anything. But it's kind of funny, right? Come on. Obviously, we're getting near the limits of what Farming Simulator can actually do with some of the mods that we're getting right now. So the fact that this is doing anything at all makes me a little bit happy. All right, let's see what it does here. Is it going to back up? It's going to back up, and it's going to go down the next way. That's so awesome. Black Sheep Bonding's gonna kill me for doing this, but it's so funny. I had to. I'm so sorry. Also, it'll work if the combine's off the field as well. That's great. I do want to show you the buckets, even though we don't have anything set up for them, at least here. Obviously, we have a nice straight down tip, which is great. Bring it all the way back. It's more than flush with the ceiling. And if we go all the way up, it's pretty much flat against the back. I mean, you are going to be totally fine with this thing if you are using it in the game. Super, super fine with that. Let's drop it off and let's grab a hold of this one. The one with the grapple. So we've got that, in and out, and then we can open and close. Yeah, that is awesome. Again, this is going to hold 2,500 liters. So tool number one, barley, there you go. But tear down, don't have access to this field. Usually when it's closed like that, it's not going to dump onto the ground. So let's test that. Will it dump onto the ground? No, it won't. You actually have to open it, and then it'll dump onto the ground. Now I get to show you the fun one, the 3-point hitch. So this has got a 3-point and trailer hitch. So, you know, kind of nice to sit here and start off with something easy. Also, yes, there is a trailer hitch on the back. There's also a 3-point hitch that you can run on the back as well. We'll show you that. So here's just a base game, small cultivators, the one that you start off with on Elm Creek. Yeah, starting to forget names of Farming Simulator 22 and 19 and 25 maps. But you can move it around. It works just fine. You can take this, put it up on a shelf or something like that. It's a great tool to have. Let's drop that there. And then we have a version that is a trailer hitch, smack dab right in the middle of it. So we come up to this trailer, hook up, and drive around. You back up, pull trailers out of tight spots, or maybe put them into tight spots if you want to. Or, better yet, having something like this, especially with all-wheel drive, allows you to back one of these trailers up without much trouble. But if you get discouraged, you can always pick it up and let it dangle. Yes, that works. Oh boy. You can also move it around like that. Anybody order a trailer? I think we could probably just leave that there. Let's go on to the final set. So this is set up in a way to show you, well, actually it's kind of like a tractor, front and rear 3-point hitches. So I've got a 6M plow on the front and a 6-meter Montana on the back. Let's turn her on. Let's get the plow situated. Now the thing is, we have to actually lower the implement. You see it lower down there just a little bit? It's like the normal thing. Just hit lower and you'll be good. Also, if you are in this setup, yes, you can create fields if you really wanted to. So that's totally doable. Let's bring this forward just about like that. That'll work. And then let's bring the seeder down. Drop that down, turn it on, and go forward. It's working! And the funniest thing is, you can hire a worker to do it. And it'll just work. They'll go down to the end and they'll turn around and do it all. How cool is it? I mean, I know it's a telehandler. Also, it doesn't look like the PTO's wanting to hook up to this setup. So maybe that's on the seeder, maybe not so much this. Also, if you're curious, that is cover crop. Yeah, what a neat setup. What a cool telehandler. What just a really interesting way to look at the end of a lifespan for a game. Farming Simulator 22 with this releasing only a few months before the new game is coming out. Oh yeah, did I mention this is also coming to Farm Sim 25? Yeah, you get to use it for another 3+ years. Let's go! And that's it. That is everything that you need to know about the John Deere 3400 pack from Black Sheep Modding before it is released. Again, huge shout out to Black Sheep Modding for sending this over to show you guys ahead of time. Thanks for letting me have a little bit of fun with it as well. And hopefully I've given you guys some ideas and maybe some hints at something that you want to try once it is released. It will be for all platforms, and it will be for Farming Simulator 22 and 25. When I'm making this video, it's still a little ways away. It has not been sent out for testing yet, although they are finishing up the internal testing right now, and it should be off soon. Stay tuned to Farm Sim News. I'll keep you updated on this process along the way. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like. Get subscribed if you are new and join the DjGoHam fam. Do the notification dance. That way, when I release fun videos like this, you know about it. Otherwise, have a great day. We'll see you later.